food challenge. What's up, YouTube? Okay, so we're going to talk about snacks. Okay, so if you're a healthy vegan, right? So you've given up a lot of the crap, like potato chips, pretzels, and a whole lot of that stuff. You've just given up. I mean, you've also given up that crunch. And sometimes you want that little bit of a crunch. Now, I'm not going to turn to a potato chip, but I did find something. Oh, let me go grab it. So I snack on snap peas. These snap peas. Right here. Now, in a prior video, I did this shopping haul where I went to Aldi's and talked about Aldi's, and I mentioned snap peas. So someone responded to one of the videos, oh, they're not that healthy. And you know what? You're absolutely right. They're not that healthy. But compared to its counterpart, potato chips, very much so. At least 50% healthier. But anyway, and like I said, once in a while, we're human. No one's perfect. But once in a while, you want something with a crunch. And you have to take it in context also. So, yes. So today, we're going to talk about green pea crisp and inner peas. One by Trader Joe, one by Aldi or Aldi, whatever way it's pronounced, A-L-D-I, okay? That's what we're going to compare. We're going to see which one's the best. Now, let me say this, that there is another brand that I don't have with me. These are the two brands I usually go for. Now, I also want to mention that these aren't the only brands out there. If you go to like an Asian market, they'll have tons of this kind of stuff. But for this comparison, we're going to go Trader Joe inner peas versus Aldi Simply Nature green pea crisp. Okay, so here's what you need to know. Let's talk about servings first. This Trader Joe is about 3.5 servings, so they say, and this is about 3, really close. We're just going to call it 3 for this video. We're going to call it 3 servings each. Now, let's talk about calories. Now, I'm not a big calorie counter, but some people, I mean, you want to be mindful, right? You won't want to eat something that has like 800 calories just at one sitting. You don't want that. So you want to be mindful. You don't want to necessarily have to count them, but you want to be mindful. So, Trader Joe calories are 130 per serving, so that's 130 times 3 if you do the whole bag, which I usually do. And Aldi green pea crisp are 120. So they're even, okay, pretty much even. 10 calories here or there. What's that? All right, so they're pretty much even that way. Sodium, 50-50, 50 milligrams each. That's not bad. So you do a whole thing, it's 150, which is not bad at all. So proteins, 5 grams of protein per serving. So one bag is 15 grams of protein. That's pretty good for a snack. 15 grams of protein, all right, for each one. So they're even there. So potassium. Now the Aldi's brand didn't list potassium, but I'm figuring that they're pretty close. It was 230 milligrams of potassium. Now, here's the deal breaker, or here's maybe one reason you might choose one over the other. Believe it or not, the Aldi is non-GMO. That's big, non-GMO. Whereas though the Trader Joe isn't, or at least they don't mention it. And I'm pretty sure if it was, they would definitely mention it. But the Aldi brand is certified non-GMO. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool stuff. All right. Now let's talk about oil. Now, maybe a month ago, I've decided to stop all cooking oil. I mean, just stop using it. I stopped using the sprays. I stopped using all of that. No more cooking oil because it's nothing but 100% pure fat. And it's no good. And it's like the ultimate processed food. Ultimate in a bad way. So, no cooking oils. I don't add it to anything. Now, granted, sometimes it's hard to get away from it because I found that they put not only sugar in almost everything, they will also add oil. It's kind of hard to get away from. But in context, that's kind of what makes this not the greatest snack. But if you look at it in context, if your oil consumption or your processed food consumption is basically something like this, when you eat a snack, that's the only time that you take in any kind of processed oil, that's not a bad thing. If you're also taking in this and using olive oil to cook in, olive oil to put onto your salads and whatnot, then you're out of control. Just let's be real, like real talk, you're out of control. But within context, this is not bad. Now they do have sunflower oil and safflower and canola. It says they'll have one of those three. Now the great thing is that it's not listed high up, it's kind of like near the bottom where those oils are contained, which means like, the lower it is on the ingredient list, the less amount of that particular ingredient in the product. So I'm kind of cool with that because I know that on a daily basis I'm not consuming any oils besides when I eat a snack. And it's not like I eat this every day, but when I do eat a snack, I know that it might have some oil, and I'm cool with that because in other areas of my diet, I've cut oil down, I've cut oil out. I don't even have it in my house, I don't even have it here at the studio, it's just gone. So I'm cool with that. But like I said, so you gotta give a star to Aldi for being non-GMO. All right, and also the other thing is that yes, they do have salt, but the great thing here is that the Aldi brand has sea salt, whereas though the Trader Joe brand is just regular salt. Now I'm pretty sure that if Trader Joe had sea salt, now let me say this, that all salt comes from the sea, or all salt comes from some type of bed of water. So technically all salt is kind of sea salt, but the reference that they're making at a sea salt is indicating that maybe it's less processed than the regular salt. I'm not sure, but that's my assumption. So now the other thing we can talk about, now also they are vegan, purely vegan. There's no milk, there's no eggs, there's none of that crap in here. So that's a plus. I meant to say that. Of course, if I'm reviewing it, it's going to be vegan. So they are vegan. Now, with all that said, to me so far, without even tasting, the Aldi brand is leading the way. More or less because, yes, there's a little less calories, and also because of the fact that it's non-GMO. All right, so let's talk about taste. Now, I like both, but I'm going to give a slight edge. As far as taste only, I'm going to give a slight edge to Trader Joe brand. Now the Trader Joe brand tastes a little saltier. I like the texture, I like it a little better. But it really is kind of a toss-up because I'll go for whatever one is within reach after I finish the gym. So if I'm closer to Aldi, I'll go to Aldi. If I'm closer to a Trader Joe, I'll go to a Trader Joe. I really like both, but if I had to choose, it would be